Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and I hope you're doing great. I am coming to you with a little craft with me, I guess. I do crafts, besides in my craft room. I usually try to have a craft organized and ready to go for TV time, what I call TV time. And that's when I watch TV at night with my husband. So this week I thought, I've been thinking about it and I haven't really gotten around to just doing a craft with me with TV time, what I'm calling TV time craft. So I don't know, this could be a new series of just things you can do. Either, they're good for TV time and they're also good for, on the road, because you don't need anything, or you don't need too many supplies, is I guess the point of the whole thing. So the supplies I'm using for this little craft is my envelope punch board. I've got my little bone folder here. I've got a little pair of scissors. I've got this whole thing started with a 6x6 pad of paper, which I was trying to use up. And I've got some of it left right here, a few pieces that I pulled out. And some magazine pages that I have right here, just extra magazine pages. And I've got a couple of magazines over here too in case I need more pages. But, whoops, sorry, bumping the camera there. But yeah, I've got a magazine here in case I need more pages. So I've got those handy. And then I'll show you what our end result is. And this is how I started out. I started out, I'll show you how to, in case you haven't used a envelope punch board before. An envelope punch board, I will show you how to use it. But I started out with the 6x6 pieces of paper, like I showed you, like this. And what you do is, when you want to make an envelope, you go over here and look at the line that has paper sizes on it. So I looked down 6x6 right here, and that tells me, you go over to and look at the column that has the score line under it. And 6x6 has 2 and, looks like 2 5/8. So 2 5/8 would be over here. But I wanted to try something different. We can do the 2 5/8 if you want, but I'll show you what I did. I decided to try something different than what it said. And I tried the 2 1/8, which is right here. So in that, what the result of that was these envelopes right here. And so this is the first bunch I made right here. They're super cute and they're small, and that was what my goal was, to make some small envelopes. So here's what I made at first. These kind of, here's the front and here's the back flap like this. Okay, so when I made them like this, there was a point here that came down and a point here, so I had to cut that off on both of these. So I made a few of those here in these different patterns and different pieces of paper, and they're super cute. I can use these in my journals. And then I thought, well, wouldn't it be neat if I turned it as I was folding? I was thinking I could turn it the other way and make them long and narrow this way. So then I started doing that, and I liked it so much I just kept on making that size. And it's the same size, it's just turned and made long and narrow instead of horizontal. So I made a bunch with, let me show you the scrapbook paper first. A bunch of these. So these are the long and narrow ones. Here's the front and here's the back with the little flap. So they're kind of like coin envelope size. And, I was making these as we were watching TV, and I showed my husband one. I was like, I actually showed him one of the ones made out of the magazine. He's like, what is that for, a stick of gum? So I was like, no, it's not for a stick of gum. It's like for a tag or something, He's like, well, it looks like a stick of gum would fit in there. I'm like, no, I could put a stick of gum in there, but that's not really what it's for. It's for like little tags or journal cards or whatever. And he's like, okay, how husbands are. They don't get our junk journaling or junk journals. So yeah, so that's the ones made of scrapbook paper, and they're the long, narrow ones. And then here's some I made out of, I just happened to have some magazines there, so I just started pulling out magazine pages and making them out of magazine pages. And I thought that there's quite a few with food on it, so I thought, wouldn't those be cute? Of course, they'd be cute for any journal, but it would be cute for a recipe or cookbook journal especially, you know. And it is magazine paper pages, so this was just a regular, like Better Homes and Gardens or whatever, so it's not real thick or anything. It is a kind of a thinnish paper, but I still think I can use them because they're just, well, they're so cute for one thing. And then, you know, I would just, you know, put something in there that wouldn't be snug or anything, and just, you know, use them as a fun little envelope. So here's the stack of those. This one has a little bit of like a gardening picture on it, and I'll just go through and show you them real quick. Not really front and back. This one has a bike on it. This one is, you know, vertical, but it has a little wolf and a baby on it. So just some interesting, it's really neat how when you know, take a focal point and fold it up into a small space, how interesting it gets. Here's a little article on snoring, and just look, I mean, even that's cute. So yeah, here's a kitty cat, and just some more food. Some grill, this was an article on grill and grill accessories, grilling. So there's a grill there in the middle of that one. This is a grilled cheese sandwich, and just some other food related pages. So that's, I'm just showing so you can get an idea how cute they are. And then I'll show you, I'll make one out of, you know, regular scrapbook paper. So what you do is just line up your paper with 2 1/8. In case you haven't used one of these before, then you just do your score line. I mean, it doesn't matter what order you do this in. You can punch and then do your score line, or do your score line and then punch. So then you punch your little punch there, and that's how you get started. So then you turn it and just line your score line up with this little point right here on your, in case you can't see it, let me hold it up real quick. There's a little point right here on your envelope punch board. So you just line up your score line right under that point, and then do it again. And you just do that 4 times all the way around. Like so. It's a very quick craft. You can make a bunch of these in no time at all. So line it up, do your score line, do your punch. Okay, so we've got all 4 of our little punches, and then you just start folding. So you, so we want this to be vertical, or I want it to be vertical. So I'm going to fold up my bottom piece here on the score line, fold over one side, fold over the other side. This is how I've been doing all of the ones that I just showed you. Fold over the other side, and then fold, what I've been doing is fold over this side, because that's going to show me where to cut. Here's your little pieces from where you did your punch. And then this is going to be your flap on the top right there. So just unfold it real quick, cut off the extra. See, that's why I just went like that, and just fold over your other flap right over, and just fold that piece so you know where to cut. And then just take your scissors and cut right on that line, and then cut on this line where you folded. And then, you know, get rid of your trash. Okay, so, and then fold up your bottom. Fold over, let's see which way we want to go. Let's go this way. And then we glue. Just using an Elmer's glue stick, and put some glue right there to hold that piece over, and then you're going to put some glue under this piece, and I kind of just eyeball it. So you're going like right here, and over and up, and just get that all over right there so that piece glues down real well. And make sure, kind of make sure my line is straight here. I need to even that up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, it's pretty straight. And then just glue that down. All kind of blends in. Even if you weren't perfectly straight there, it wouldn't really matter, but I try to get it straight. And then, you know, just make sure it's all glued down. If you need to pick it up and put a little bit more glue on there, there's no problem with that. I need a little bit more right here. So, I mean, that's all you need. And you've got yourself a little envelope, a little kind of like almost like a coin envelope shaped envelope. And there you go, a pretty little envelope. So that one's done, and then we'll do a magazine. And what I do is try to find a magazine with a focal point that you're going to like and going to be able to use. So let's find a cute one here. And if I have any more cute ones, because I did so many of these already, I might have used up all my cute ones. But I have another magazine standing by. And it depends on what you like, you know. Maybe you want a fashion page, or maybe you want a food-related page. So let's see what we have here. It might be more cute than what I have poured out already. Here's a pretty one here. So let's just rip this out real quick. Sorry I didn't have this ready. I just thought I would use one of the ones I had pulled out, but then now that I'm right down to it, I figure why not do a pretty one, right? This is a pretty page right here. And I believe I don't have the cover on this magazine anymore, but I think it's a Better Homes and Gardens. So that's a pretty page. So what I do is, what I've been doing this time is taking my 6x6, since I had it out there, and just place it where I want it on my page. The part that I want to be my focal point. I'm going to grab my big scissors here. So I just want this whole pretty piece right here. So I'm going to line that up and just, let's see, I don't really need the words. So I'll move it down a little. Even though we'll have some, let's see, it'll be fine though. You'll see when it gets folded up, it doesn't matter, it just looks pretty. So then I just have been doing it like this, just cut it out right along your 6x6 paper. Now you could do a bunch of these at one time, but then you can't really, you know, pick your focal point. So that's why I'm doing one at a time, one magazine page at a time. So I can line it up like this and pick my focal point on each page, because I don't want the same, you know, spot on each page. So, and just cut it out nicely along your guide here, your 6x6 guide. Well, there we go. We have our piece. And get rid of your trash. And then do the same thing. Now I'll show you, there is a little bit of an issue with the magazine pages. And I'll show you what it is. It's not a big deal, but I'll show you. So we're going to do the same thing. Punch and score. We're on our 2 1/8, the same thing. 2 1/8. Score. Okay, let's see, this piece almost punched, but it didn't quite, so we just pull that off. And we'll see how the next one does. Line it up on our score line with our little point, our little guide. Punch. And score. And see, this one didn't punch so well. That's the issue that I'm talking about. But you just have your scissors, not a big deal, and just cut. So there you go. Fixed. It's fixed. And it just doesn't cut the magazine page for some reason very well. So not a big deal though. I mean, maybe you don't want to do it because of that with magazine pages, but I didn't mind because I think they're so cute. And I like using up my magazine pages. I don't, you know, if I don't have to waste them and throw them in the trash, it's a good way to use them. So we did our punch there on our score line. And if you get messed up like I just pulled it up, just put it back, line it back up with your score line. We already punched. So now we're going to score. And then we have one more to do. We're going to punch and score. That one, it did about half of it, so that's usually what it does for some reason, about half of it, and I have to cut out the other half. But not a big deal because those are all just, you know, you don't see those little notches when after you folded it, so they're not like perfectly cut. You know, here's mine that I cut there. You know, there's no need to make it any better because it's fine. So we want it, decide how you want it, what orientation you want it in. Do you want it like this? Or do you want it like this? So I think this looks right side up to me. So I'm going to do it like that and fold the same way as the other one. Fold our bottom piece up. Fold this piece over. Decide what piece you want on top on the back. So like this is prettier than this side. So this side's going to be on the bottom that's covered up. And just find your score line, fold it on your score line. And then the same thing, you're going to fold this one over on your score line so that you fold that piece over that you're going to need to cut. Let's see if we have it straight. And then fold this little piece over so you know where to cut. You're going to have your flap here. This is going to be your flap. Cut your extra pieces off here. And here. And this one's not quite straight. I'll cut that again. Okay. Clean up our area. Okay, so the top is right here. Make sure you're gluing the right pieces down in the right places. So this piece is going over first, so I'm going to put some glue right here. And if you saw my video where I was working with the magazine journal, the glue stick, Elmer's glue stick, does work good on magazine pages because it doesn't make it wrinkle. The jot, the jot actually worked better on here because I did try it on these magazine pages and it worked better here. I just don't want to take a chance on wrinkling, so I just stuck with the Elmer's glue stick. I'm going to straighten this up a little bit. We've got a little bit of crookedness going on here, so let's straighten that up. I want it to look pretty, because this is going to be showing a little bit. Okay, so then we've got to put some glue here, here. You do put quite a bit of glue here, so this would be good to, you know, make sure it's not going to wrinkle with the jot. And just go ahead and use your Elmer's glue stick so it doesn't, or whatever your favorite glue is to use on this type of thing, to make sure you don't wrinkle your, you know, have that wrinkled effect if you use the wrong glue on magazine pages. But there you have it. Here's the front of this one with it had the couch and a table on it. So I think that's a pretty little envelope. And here's the back. And it's just a fun little project and a quick way to make envelopes. You can use any type of paper, of course. It's just happened to be the paper I was using. You can use book pages or anything you want to cut into a 6x6 square. So, you know, there's these and there's these. This is all. I have just tons of envelopes now to use in my journals. And I'm probably going to make a few more tonight when I get in front of the TV. So I just always like to have a TV craft going. I don't like to just sit and watch TV and do nothing. So I just have always been like that. I've always had a magazine or to read or something at the same time. And I don't know why. I just don't like to sit and watch TV. So although I like to watch TV, I don't like to just sit there and do nothing. So that's my little TV craft for today. And if you like this idea, and maybe the idea of me showing you some more TV crafts, or these could easily be done, take these few supplies on your vacation or your trip, and you know, you have a little something to do in your downtime. So if you like this video, just give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and just let me know in the comments what you know that you like it, and I will do some more like TV videos called TV crafts if you like these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting!